if I wasn't willing to make that commitment. And that's the commitment that I want to make to everybody. And I will ensure that my responsibility, if I'm not present, is to make sure I'm aware of the issues, and I'm going to be able to ensure that there's input into those issues. So I want to ensure that no matter what, I'm going to be participating, whether it's in person or whether it's via conference call or via Skype.
Caroline?
I like the idea about Skype, I guess, the technology, allowing anybody, anywhere to be able to attend a meeting through that technology. And I also like Joanne's idea. I know what she's talking about when she says webcasting the meeting. When we talk about integrity and transparency and accountability, I think our community would get that, or at least a big part of it. I think that's a key factor there, is having our meetings, our council meetings, working meetings, monthly meetings, webcasted to our band members. And I think, like Dennis mentioned, we need a balance there. I agree with that, but I think there are other communities that already do that. I mean, we have City Hall that always has their meetings on, I don't know if it's webcam, but it's on the cable, televised. I think that will just accountability. I think you see a change. When we talk about we want change, I think you see a change through broadcasting those meetings to our members, any members that want it. And there are ways to log in, like just, you have to be a band member, you have to log in, something like that. So I think there are ways, but I think that's the key to change right there is one big step towards change that we want. So I agree that we should look into something like that.
Well, thank you. Skype and all those other technologies, they're good. They're good to an extent. For me, I think over the 4-year term, that this maybe 6 meetings, I like to be there. I like to be present. The social network media is strong, but you don't get a face value off my comments. I can say anything I want on a computer, but when you don't get me face to face and you don't see what my actual intents are, I can type anything on a computer. Social media has a place and a purpose, along with Skype and other networks. That idea. I think that every meeting should be broadcast. I think there should only be certain things that go on camera, which would have to deal with, like I said earlier, people's personal issues. Any other thing dealing with Guard River has to be open. It has to be open concepts that everybody knows. You can't hide behind these doors and not let people know how you actually feel. Then you will get an honest answer. You'll get an honest feedback from people, and they don't have the right or the power to hide behind doors and hide behind cloaks and playing cloaks and daggers. Where people say to me, "It's a game." To me, it's not a game. We're not playing a game to get things sorted out for everybody. With social media, with Skype, it's a great idea. Like you say, everybody's into it. I think that maybe we might, like you say, we're behind, and it may take us a little while to catch up. But in the process, we need to get our available networking out to the people where people can watch these meetings all the time. We have voice recorded meetings in case they couldn't see them. You have those voice recorders that go out. You get every single BCR motion that's passed in Guard River out to the public. There's none of this transparency. People keep saying transparency, transparency, transparency. What are the decisions? Why do they do this? Why that? Why can't we see? We had Art put in a request to have the minutes, the BCR's motions made available. And then when they were discussing it, I said, well, I was the one who advised them to do that. And they said, well, they wouldn't do it at a past council meeting because they said they had to sort out between what was closed door and what wasn't, which in turn is supposed to be sorted right now. I'd be surprised if they're ready by the time election comes. And I'm hoping that they will be. I'm not saying they won't be, but I'd be surprised. And the fact of the matter is you can't make it. You have to be able to have a knowledgeable basis for your decisions on who you're going to vote for council. You have to be able to see what councilors are doing, how they're making their decisions, reasoning. You want to ask the questions, why did you make that decision? That should be all open. You should be able to ask these questions. You can't ask them that. You can't see these books. Then there's a reason. There has to be a reason. People don't want other people to know what they're doing. And if you don't know what people are doing, how can you make an honest and knowledgeable vote that decision at the time of decision for council? But like I say, you might be 2 years behind something, but maybe in this 2-year term, you can, like you say, have someone bring it forward and have it actually made alive when you get the new council. But it's a great idea. I hope that it will be able to, like, it will be there. But for, like, I don't know,
I just think that in the communities where I'm going, doctors are performing surgery from Kingston up in Moose Factory, and they're not present, and they're just following the TV. So, my God, if they can fix someone from Kingston and the body's over in Moose Factory on the operating table, then Garden River is way behind if we can put Skype up to people and let you watch me talk. I don't think we should be typing in answers. I think it should be something physical.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying you can text it, well, I vote yes. I'm talking. Yeah, you can see my lips and watch my eyes and watch me get excited or passionate, whatever. But that's what I'm saying. Because when you think about it, some of us will never work for the band for whatever reason. Some of us, our children will never work for the band because they're going off and doing their thing. But then they become pretty much only residents or band member. If we only go to serve residents who live in the First Nation, then Joanne, you'll never, you don't tell your kids to get an education, because there's not a lot of places in the band for them to live.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? Like, the young people are on internet, and we're the slow people to them.
Maybe I say off track a little, but I guess basically because not only do we only sit on the board, like on council, there's also boards that we sit on, and like my time isn't spent with 3 meetings a month just for council. I'm on the board for our utilities commission. We have 2, 3, 4 meetings a month. Like there's a lot of other things, and like say everything has to catch up for it all to work out. Because I can't be sitting on another board and I have to have a Skype meeting and they don't have to set up the technology. Then I become useless, and there's no use for me because I can't really physically be there.
But I think that you would, as a council member, evolve, because every board that I sit on, I plan a world conference every 2 years, and no one comes from Africa to our meeting ever. We all sit on television. And it's one of the most successful events in the world. And we all just talk on TV. I've never seen them until the 4 years we put on a great event down in Harvard. So if Africa, who's in the middle of no man's land, can meet me on TV and make a decision, then the boards you're on, which benefit our band, should be saying, all right, he cannot be everywhere. Let's hear how we're going to keep up with technology too. Because we keep giving in to the people who are supposed to be in our best interest, when they should be saying, we need you, Garden River. They need us to pass through their power line, their internet lines. They cannot pass, they can't get anyone unless they Bluetooth everything, and they still haven't done that with the power line, so they're dependent upon us more than we make them. You know, so that's what I mean. We, the young people, have to honor what the old people have done and update that and say, I will fight it even harder because you've done your thing. Keep me going, fire me up. But I'm going there and say, I'm no longer getting $1 a foot. How much would you go try running a line to a non-native person's yard, Sault Ste. Marie, see what they'll charge you.
Yeah, that's where we're at now.
You know, it's due time. That's, I think, part of the change. People are so frustrated because we keep hearing this and we keep playing their game. They should be coming to our game. We have new rules, and we're not all dumb anymore. We're not all uneducated anymore. The rest of the world needs to realize there's a new stereotype in Indian country. Smart, educated, polite, respectful, and we've been playing your game, so watch out when we use it back on you.
And that's why we've taken, Anak, we got up a picture, whereas our committee are representing ourselves, we're moving in a direction where they're not going to tell us what they're.
And if we're the largest population in Canada, which we are, folks, we're the fastest growing population in Canada. The fastest growing population by statistics. My God, if we could come together once a year and make something work for our benefit, can you imagine? The largest and fastest growing population in Canada. We just can't come together. We're always fighting over something.
Yeah.
And if we do that, and we maybe set the precedent, I think you'll get all the off-reserve members coming from, because basically what it's telling us, we're extremely horny Indians in Canada. But are we serving them? Let's put it on TV to send the porno, and let's watch the drama of the reality show. Then let's get the membership to vote. Because right now, how many are off reserve, you said? How many off reserve members?
1,000.
That's 1,000 voiceless people, basically, who don't have the option to come and buy a house, who don't have the option to get an apartment, who don't have the option even to get property. That's your family and my family.
Brandon.
Just getting back to how the conversation started, I think it's a great idea to publicize what's being done and said at the community meetings. not a lot of people have access even to the minutes, let alone what's going on in the community. And then to get that information out to the non, or the people that don't live on reserve, I think it's an excellent idea, publicize, let people know, inform them, what's wrong with, let people know what's going on. I think everybody should have access to that information.
If you have something to hide, then you don't put it out there. But if there's nothing to hide, what's wrong with putting all the PCRs out there?
Well, that's probably one of the things, putting the proper lack of communication. Now we have a way, because if you're in your home, you know they're there to bullying or pushing and speaking mind. To me, it's the greatest thing we're going to walk out with talking to 600 people, how people press the button, and to not take advantage of this meeting. That's that whole thing of transparency and accountability. You have to turn on the table and you have to show it on the table. You can't just say, we'll call you. That's for all we know. That's the problem. And we don't know that without talking. It's like, come together, we all know what's wrong, we help each other. And
Well, it's like coming to dinner, but I'm not gonna tell you what you eat, and then you have to leave and say, what was it? I don't know.
That's big, like, just to be get people that won't normally speak, when we go, when we have a meeting. Like I said, you got been doing it on Facebook for a couple of years, and it's amazing that things are, good people notice, and do bad people notice, because you have to learn to put yourself on the line.
All these things can literally happen tomorrow. We have the infrastructure. There's been meetings at the rec center that have been broadcast. We have websites. They're not updated, but I mean, we have people that can do it. We have people already working with the bands that are capable of doing all this. Literally tomorrow. Motions could be all put on the website. Meetings could certainly be webcast the very next meeting that happens. It could happen tomorrow. So it's good we're all talking about it now. Let's go to, all these other people on the list, all the people that are on council now that are on here, tell them we want this tomorrow.
Okay, go ahead, Carol.
Everybody mentioned change, and I think what David suggested, this is going to be the first part of the change, having it open to band members. And I feel sorry because most of my kids are off reserve. They're not included. They may as well not belong here because they don't benefit from anything. And that's the only way you talk about change. We need educated people on council. Most of our educated people, I won't say all of them, there's a lot of educated on reserve. Most of our educated people are off the reserve because they can't come back. There's no jobs for them.
In their field, like,
In
it's
their
not that they
field.
don't want to, but.
No, it's not because they don't want to, because if they come back, they either leave their education behind, move back, and what do? Wait for welfare? This is the start of having educated people on your council, because most of our educated people are off the reserve, and if the monthly meeting is scheduled the second Monday of every month, well then they can plan that. But if other meetings, if you're away on your job, you can come in on technology and they'll be there. And I think that's even more to be said for them, because right now you have counselors that are living right here and they don't show up. That's one way of getting educated people on council, where they know they can make it.
Mark?